Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MLG Antigua Shipyard for this be-all, end-all game. It is Game 3 in this best-of-3 series between Andy, the Teal Terran spawning in the top spawn location, and his opponent, JustDontCry, spawning in the bottom location as the Green Terran. Now, JustDontCry is the Master League rank 7, so he is by far the favorite to win this, but Andy, the representative of the Diamond League, after playing a stellar first game and losing just to JustDontCry being far too good at his massive macro style, despite playing some stellar drop play, Andy did lose that first game, but Andy was able to pull through in Game 2 to upset the odds and bring it to a match point third game, I guess you could say. Well, he played very well in the last game utilizing early Marauder pressure from a proxy barracks, and then into Banshee play into just this big-ass Marine tank Banshee push with Marauders in it as well. It was sort of an everything push, but it was very scary. Was able to actually he had this one moment where the Banshees were scanned when they were cloaked, and then two of them survived with about 1 health each. So a little bit of luck on his side, but very skillful play from Andy. JustDontCry is going to be going for a barracks followed by a refinery. Might again be going for that Reaper play that we've seen, the Reaper opening that we've seen in both of his games so far. He seems to like opening with the Reapers. Andy himself also going to be getting earlier gas. He's been getting gas for a little while already, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for a Reaper as well, especially given where he's queuing that rally point too. And yeah, I mean, obviously this is the MLG version, and that does mean that cross spawn is enforced, meaning that they both know where the opponents are. Apparently not. Well, I mean, you can only spawn and cross spawn here, but apparently neither player realizes that. So they're just gonna go on and try to scout over there first. So we can forgive them. We're going to be seeing a factory going straight up from Andy, and no Reaper play at all from him. I was totally wrong and totally off base in thinking that, but factory on the way up for him, and he's shown us that he likes playing any number of things, so I wouldn't... I see, he's going to be rallying his Marine there because he knows JustDontCry likes the Reaper play, and that is the Reaper entry point. Meanwhile, JustDontCry also going to be opting for the factory option, not going to be going for Reaper harass this time around. Reapers, of course, very good units, simply because they don't only do damage, but you get a full scout of your opponent's base, and you might even be able to get out of there without taking any damage. Anyway, this factory is going to be done. We're seeing a 1-1-1 build from Andy, going to be going straight for that Starport Destiny Cloud Fist build, as it is called by Husky. Factory's actually much later for JustDontCry. However, JustDontCry has substituted the earlier factory for more workers, so he's got a worker supply lead, 2.5 workers, I guess you could say, simply because, well, he's 2 workers ahead and then half of another one. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be a tech lab on this factory, so we could be seeing a switcheroo, could be seeing Banshee play. Looks like it will be a switcheroo, and Banshees will be on the way out any second now. There's the Banshee. And he knows exactly where his opponent is now. He's scouted him. And, well, we'll be interested to see whether this works or not. In the last game, it actually looks like JustDontCry is the same idea. Also going for this tech lab, going to be switching it out, but he is later. Of course, in the last game, we were able to see JustDontCry hold off the Banshees, the later Banshees, with preemptive missile turrets. There is a Hellion on the field now for JustDontCry. Andy going to be moving across the field with a couple of Marines. Going to be taking that Zelnaga watchtower, but there's a Hellion. Hellion's going to find them, and what will win? Will it be the Hellion or the 2 Marines? Looks like the 2 Marines will win. The Hellion will return home to fight another day, though. Banshee number 1 is done for Andy. Banshee number 2 is on the way. He will be able to outnumber his opponent's Banshees, but believe it or not, 27 Banshees cannot kill 1 Banshee because they can't shoot up. I'm not funny. I'm really not funny. Jesus Christ. I don't even remember if that was me attempting to be funny or not, or whether it just sort of happened. Anyway, Banshee number 1 is going to be swooping in from the side. Expansion's going up for both players. Andy is significantly behind on his expansion time, but JustDontCry could be losing his builder. Yep, the little boy building the little SCV that couldn't taken down while it was building, going to be able to delay that a little bit. He will be putting an SCV right back on there, and we'll be able to finish it up. And this Banshee gets 3 kills, and it gets away. No, and 2 health. Ah, it falls. Banshee for JustDontCry going to be moving in. There's another Banshee for Andy moving in from the other side. Only saw 1 worker kill come in there. JustDontCry going to be moving in here. And where are Andy's Marines? They're in the bunker at the front. That's not where you want them to be, Andy! And he's going to start losing troops very, very quickly. He's going to be able to respond reasonably fast with a bunch of Marines going to be running in towards the towards that Banshee. But that Banshee's already at 5 kills. 6 kills. And that is a lot of kills. That is a much more successful Banshee. But this one is also going to be able to do a lot of damage. This Banshee going to be in here. JustDontCry going to be losing a few units. Already lost 3. Will he be able to get in the 4th one? Does get... No, he hits the supply depot instead. And there is a Viking out. Will be able to get another kill. Going to try to get as much as he can. Going to be able to kill a Marine as well. And yes, we'll get another kill. Gets 6 kills. This one is at 6 as well. So this one's going to take the lead now. 7 kills, 8 kills, 9 kills. Very, very, very good Banshee play from JustDontCry, who's also going to be going for a Raven. Andy's own Viking has now popped, and it will be chasing that Banshee down. Nice play from both players, definitely. Taking a look at the workers killed count, JustDontCry does lead with 9 to 6. Taking a look at the actual worker supply, whoa! Leads by 32 to 20. Andy did sacrifice earlier workers for the earlier Banshee, and the earlier Banshee didn't actually do as much as the later one did. So, not the best thing for him to, and not the best situation for Andy at the moment. JustDontCry taking a pretty commanding lead as far as economy goes. Going to be moving, nope, going to be going home. Never mind. A little bit of a Marine tank push going to be coming out across the map for Andy. I'm not sure what's he going to do with this tech lab on there. Is he going to go for more Banshees? Not sure whether that's the right decision, to be honest. But he's also opting to move home. This is a game of indecision. Nope, he's going to be switching that out and going to be going for a reactor. I think it might have been a mistake for him to be building a tech lab. That not exactly the best idea. Stim pack is on the way for both players. Andy's combat shield is almost done. JustDontCry hasn't started combat shield yet, so he is a little bit behind in the Marine upgrades. But JustDontCry is also continuing to get Vikings, and that may end up being a little bad for him. I mean, just simply because JustDontCry, Andy is not getting any air at the moment at all. He is getting a reactor on that starport, so he may end up going for either Vikings or medevacs of his own, probably medevacs. And I mean, that it might help that the Vikings can shoot down the medevacs, but I can't help but thinking that it'll probably end up going to it'll probably end up being better spent in other areas. JustDontCry does have siege mode, whereas Andy does not yet, so JustDontCry going to be starting to siege up, and he's now in a good position, going to be able to see the high ground. He's going to start shooting on that. Oh my god, that starport is not going to be in very good position at all. Andy is going to be taking a couple shots on that siege tank as well. And it looks like he's going to lose this one. Will the Vikings spawn? Even if they do, they'll die right away. You need to cancel the Vikings! Cancel! Oh, the Vikings don't get canceled. That is a loss of quite a few resources right there. And the siege mode has now finished for Andy. There we go, sieging up. Although that Banshee is going to be microed perfectly. He may be able to get the tank. And he gets the tank. A huge kill for Andy. For JustDontCry. JustDontCry is going to be able to get away with that Banshee with its life. That Banshee is the same one as the earlier one was. 12 kills on it still. The Raven's going to be moving in. Not really sure what the Raven... I mean, the Raven is there for PDDs, obviously, but... Wow, Andy is now in a terrible, terrible position here. This 3-tank siege line is just not going to be very, very easy to hold off at all. That Banshee is now catching all the Marines out of position. We'll be able to take out another tank. And those Marines are totally out of position. Andy GG's, and JustDontCry will be the man to move into the semifinals. Andy did play well, but JustDontCry just a little bit too good. Top 8 Masters, so what can you say? I've been Penguin, and thank you for tuning in. I will be right back with another game.